Oh my gosh, I've just had the most incredible moment sitting here talking with Dan at Telleen and Carolyn Tyler from Carriage Jewelers. You almost just brought tears to my eyes with that story. Thank you guys so much for meeting us here this morning.
It's all true. Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Okay, so she brought some incredible jewelry. The stuff that you have right now is impeccable. There is like nothing else in the world comparing to this to me right now.
Oh, thank you.
In this very moment. So you did a little theme.
Yes, I'm trying to honor 4th of July with some red and blue. Didn't bring any white today, but we have some pearls in the store. I've got coral and turquoise over there.
So you can do all of it. That bracelet right there with the intricate swirling and the beautiful little coral flowers takes my breath away.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, all hand carved. The coral flowers were handmade in Bali, and the horn, the African buffalo horn cuff was hand carved too.
Okay, we'll get into the jewelry in just a minute, but I want to talk about what got you into jewelry, because this is the story that she just told me that literally took my breath away.
Yeah, many people ask me, how did you get started in jewelry, especially if they know that I was doing advertising before. And it's a pretty remarkable story, Oprah worthy. She has yet to hear it, but she will one day, I promise.
After today, we will get this to Oprah somehow.
Yeah, I've also had people say, you need a screenplay writer for this, better than Eat, Pray, Love.
Seriously.
So the story is, when I was 20 years old, I was in Greece as a backpacking college student, and I passed by a shop window, saw a beautiful opal pendant, didn't care a thing about jewelry, but this stone was just breathtaking. And I went in and asked the guy how much, and he told me in Greek drachma. I figured it was $150, so I quickly put it on my father's credit card, thinking he'd made a mistake, and I better do it quick. Well, when I got home, I found out it was actually $1,500, and it was probably I who had made the mistake. And I said, I'm going to wear this every day of my life. And I did for 15 years, until in 1990 I was divorcing, and the evil man that I was divorcing stole it from me because he knew I'd run into a burning house for it. And so I was without it, and I was bereft and heartbroken, but I had started traveling to Bali, Indonesia, where I now live. And I found a jeweler, and I drew a picture. I said, if I bring an opal, can you make this for me? So I was feeling good that I could replace it finally. Well, I made a pendant, and tourists assaulted me on the street. Where did you get that? I want one. That's so beautiful. And I thought, gee, maybe if I sold this, I could pay for my trip, come back and make some more. And that's what I did. So I sold the other ones that I made, and then I started making bracelets and earrings, and I sold those off my body. And 3 years later, I thought maybe I could move to Bali and just start a jewelry business.
And do this.
Which I did. So 10 years later, after I had movie star clients and a successful business, was in Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, I ran into my ex-husband in a shopping mall in Santa Barbara, and he denied having anything to do with it. But later, 5 years afterwards, a woman walked into a jewelry store that I opened, and she asked me the magic question, how did you get started in jewelry? I said, sit down and I will tell you about the best bad thing that ever happened to me. And I told her the story of the stolen opal. She said, I love opals. What did it look like? And I held out the ring that I finally made. I had to make a ring because people kept buying the pendant off my neck. So I held out my ring here, and she said, lavender opal, that's unusual. Opals are usually white. And I said, yeah. And she asked me, how was it set in the setting? And I explained it to her, and she got a funny look on her face. She asked for my phone number, and she called me about half hour later and said, Carolyn, are you sitting down? And I said, what's the matter? And she said, you're not going to believe this. I've got your opal pendant.
Oh my gosh.
So the story is, my ex-husband was dating somebody unbeknownst to me while I was divorcing him. He stole my pendant, gave it to his girlfriend. His girlfriend was Lucy, who had come into my shop, her best friend. She put it on in front of Lucy the next day after she got it in 1990 and went white as a sheet, said, I can't keep this. I feel like he might have stolen it. Lucy, do you want it? So Lucy accepted it. She put it on her wedding day the following weekend and found out that her husband had a girlfriend and took the opal off, thought it was bad luck, and never wore it again for 15 years. So that night she brought it back to me. She stood on my doorstep holding a little box, and I opened the door and just burst into tears. So I'm wearing it today. This is the opal I am never without. People still ask me, can I buy that?
You're like, no. Do you want a lifetime of bad karma and bad juju? You cannot have this one.
Well, I've made replicas.
Good.
So there are some in the store. If anybody falls in love with this, they can look at the ones in the store. But it has been nothing but good luck for me.
Oh my gosh, it's because all of your jewelry is made with an act of love. Unfortunately, we are totally out of time, but you are going to be at Carrot Jewelers until July 8th, so people can come in and see you and learn more. And I want to know, my next question is how you guys got connected, but we are out of
next time.
We'll tell next time we're on TV. We'll tell that story.
The question.
Carrots is on East Meadow Drive, and we're open from 10 in the morning till 9 in the evening. And Carolyn's there most of the time. She works hard. So.
Well, I might just be coming in to chat with you because your life to me is like a dream. What an incredible story. We have so much more. Good morning, Vail. Thank you guys again for coming in and almost bringing tears to my eyes the second time I heard this story. All right, we're going to go check in with Eric and see what adventures he's on this morning.